Okay, so as part of my foundational series of essays for Part 2, I'm going to be presenting to you the thesis, in one of my essays talking about the need for psychoanalysis for the international left. And so let us get into this. So I'm going to be using, in order to make my case, the arguments of, or rather the thought of Martin Jacques Lacan and the comic book Batman The Last Arkham. So let us get into this. This is a wonderful thing. So, number one, the Lacanian premise. So, ideology works through desire, not just belief. And this is the important thing that needs to be understood. So, for Martin Lacan, the subject is not a clean skeleton reason standing upright in the world. It is a body threaded with nerves, pulsing with desire, leaking meaning through language like saliva from the tongue. So the subject is structured by the Lacanian symbolic, so that is the skeletal system, law, language, the bones that hold us upright essentially, the Lacanian imaginary, so this is sort of like skin really, which is the mirror, it's sort of the world of sort of images, and the Lacanian real, which I would say is akin to the wound, so it's the raw, unsuited flesh that cannot be fully spoken. So, capitalism doesn't just chain the body from the outside, it seeps into the bloodstream, reprogramming desire at the level of organs. So, the key Lacanian claim is this: people don't obey capitalism because they are deceived. They obey because their enjoyment, jouissance, is metabolized inside it. So any politics that treats ideology as mere false consciousness is like diagnosing a corpse by looking at its clothes. The system lives in the tissues of desire. So enter Arkham Asylum as the sort of unconscious of Gotham, if you will. In the last Arkham, Gotham's social body has an organ it tries to hide. Arkham Asylum. It presents itself as a healing chamber, but it functions more like a diseased kidney, filtering madness while secretly recirculating it back into the blood. And so Jeremiah Arkham, the asylum's director, is the jaw that bites while claiming to heal. He imagines himself as the clean hand of order. But beneath the skin, his drives grind like teeth in the dark. His authority drools with sadistic enjoyment. Arkham is not Gotham, is not outside Gotham, excuse me. It is its unconscious organ, swollen and infected. This is Martin Lacan's point in anatomical form, essentially. Repression doesn't excise desire, it pushes it deeper where it festers and returns like an abscess, beneath the gums. So, capitalism, when you think about it, is a system that produces its own sort of madness, so to speak. So, if we extend this sort of into the body of society, capitalism generates stress like a heart forced into arrhythmia. It then sells remedies, pills, apps, therapies, as if offering bandages for wounds. It keeps reopening. The system feeds on symptoms the way a parasite feeds on blood. So this is structurally identical to Arkham when you think about it. Arkham Asylum produces and contains madness. Capitalism produces and circulates alienation. Arkham Asylum, authority figures savor domination like marrow and bone. Capitalism, elites extract surplus like blood from a vein. Arkham Asylum, patients internalize their sickness. Capitalism, workers digest their own exploitation. So without psychoanalysis, the international left risks treating this like a surface infection, when in fact it is systemic, vascular, everywhere at once. So, when you think about it, in this context, Batman serves as the split subject. So, Batman is not a unified body, he is a fracture. Bruce Wayne is the face, the mask of civility, so to speak. Batman is the clenched fist, the jaw locked in repetition. So, in Lacanian terms, he is split between the ego ideal, the upright posture of the hero, and a deeper drive that gnaws like teeth grinding in sleep. The disturbing truth is that Batman needs crime the way a wound needs reopening. And that's the thing. The mask is not Bruce Wayne. His face is not Bruce Wayne. His face is not Bruce Wayne. His face is the mask, and his mask is the face of Bruce Wayne. So, his crusade circulates like blood through Gotham, but it never heals, it keeps the injury alive. And this mirrors a danger in international left politics. Struggle can become a habit of the body, like pacing, like clenching, where the movement feeds on its own tension rather than dissolving the conditions that produce it. And so, this is why the international left needs psychoanalysis. Here, the core argument, now in flesh and bone. So, number one, capitalism operates at the level of desire. So, not just structures or ideas, but pulses, cravings, the tongue's hunger, the gut's churn. Number two, subjects are attached to their domination. So people don't just endure capitalism, they taste it, chew it, swallow it. Identity is consumption, moral righteousness like a flavor on the tongue. Even exhaustion is a kind of bitter nourishment. You think about it, sort of like the line of, I have nothing but pain to get me through the day. And so, number three, political movements reproduce unconscious structures. So, without analysis, movements can harden into authoritarian bone, like Jeremiah Arkham, loop like a nervous tick, like Batman, or fetishize struggle like a wound they refuse to let scar. Psychoanalysis reveals the symptom. It asks, what are we ingesting from the system? Why do we keep biting the hand that feeds us and then feeding on the bite? So the sort of final Lacanian truth. Matua Lacan insists that the subject is responsible for their position as a subject. This is not an accusation, it is an incision, a demand to look inside the body and see how deeply the system has burrowed. So the argument here becomes the international left needs psychoanalysis because capitalism survives not only by force, but because it circulates through the unconscious like blood carried by the very bodies that resist it. And the last Arkham stages this with surgical clarity. The asylum, that is the system, cannot heal itself because its logic is embedded in every organ within it, including those who believe they are fighting it. So, in one sentence, without psychoanalysis, anti-capitalist politics risks becoming, like Arkham itself, a body that treats its own symptoms while pumping the disease through its veins. And that is why the international left needs to embrace psychoanalysis. No reira, tēnā koutou katoa.